All right. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Are we live? I think we're live. Let me double check. Let's see. Okay, I'm not live there. I'm supposed to be. Let's click on this and see if I'm live here. This is an update. What's happening? Am I getting notifications? People telling me something that I don't see? Ah, I'm live there. Let's see if I'm live here. All right, those of you tuning in, seeing and looking at and seeing what the hell is he doing? I'm double checking all the places that I'm supposed to be live. Ah, there he is. Yep, so I'm live there. Cool. Now I can close that. I'm not live here, although I should be. I'm on Twitch. Ah, I was in the wrong place. Okay. I just saw myself say that I was in the wrong place. So, coolio. I guess we're about to do this. Okay, let's go here. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural episode of Hawaii Comedy with James Money podcast. The reason I'm doing this is because, pandemic's kicking up again. Some people aren't feeling safe to come to live shows, so this is my way to reach out to you guys. I wasn't planning on going live, but some things came up today. I was supposed to record it and then post it. And it's like, man, that's going to take a while. Let me just go live for the people that I said that I was going to be doing on Tuesday. And here it is. And on prime time in Hawaii. I wasn't planning on doing that, but it's happening. So let's see here. Oh, cool. So awesome. Haha. What's up, Johnny Rocks Hollywood? Aloha to you, my friend. And yes, big cutback on the budget. But just going for it. I mean, I think from what I've been learning from friends and people in the business, sometimes you just got to go and make the mistakes, fuck up and learn from it and then keep going. So here it is. This is the first episode, and surprisingly, there's people that actually wanted me to do this. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't think I was desirable, if you will. But let me start the show. Amazing artist that I got approval to have his music on as intro for the show, which I'm so excited about. Tavana, who is a Hawaii local artist and who will blow up soon. I really dig his music. He's unique as far as performing or music that you usually hear in Hawaii. It's a lot of reggae style, but Tavana is very bluesy, and like every time I listen to him, I feel like I'm a cowboy. Like I'm about to go to this ranch and just start shooting some people. Well, maybe not shoot. I shouldn't say that. Sorry, trigger words. I don't know. I'm from old school, so I'm not sure what I'm talking about as far as things I'm not supposed to say. Usually, I'm on a podcast with a group of guys who I miss very much right now. Chad Wago and Russell Kealoha with the Guys with Issues, where I was doing podcasting for about 7 years now. So now it's the guys. One of the guys' issues was scheduling. We got busy. We wish it was that kind of busy, but Russell is busy with his family. He's a father of 2 now. So happy for him and his career. He works long hours, and so it's hard to connect with just one person. But trying to connect with 2 people, so with 3 altogether. Chad Wago, who is I don't know if he wants me to say his job, but his job, he works long hours. He does a lot of work, and this is something that he wants to do. So it's tough to schedule things when you work long hours. There's things that you got to do before you do. You move on to I guess to get your brain in the right place. Like I do stand-up comedy. Yeah. So as Johnny said, yes, my comedy debut, and now my show debut. Thank you for the aloha. Thank you for the love, Johnny. And we got 2 Johnnies here. So speaking of the guys with issues, so again, I'm mentioning myself, Chad Wago, Russell Kealoha, but like I guess the forefathers. One of the original members, I got to give a shout out to is Johnny Sparkles. Johnny Sparkles is in, I think, the first maybe 20 to 30 episodes. And then also Peter Austin. He's not in the chat room right now. But he, as well as one of the original guys, when we got together and said, hey, we should do a podcast. Yeah, let's do a podcast. So shoot, you know what? Let me start. I haven't figured out how to do the live and add in the music. So I'm going like kind of ghetto and using a speaker to go into the microphone to play the intro. Shout out to Tavana. Thank you so much for beautiful music and giving me permission to play your music on my show. And shout out to Graham Elwood. You'll hear his voice in here as the intro.
Live from the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it's Hawaii Comedy with your host, James Money.
Island days, clear blue waters, and mountain ranges, dancing daughters. I can't get enough of these island days. Won't you take me back to Honolulu? Yeah, the surf is high, and I am too. Sing songs all night long. I live in these island days. Oh, they told me not to fall in love, but I just could not help myself. Oh, I missed my flight again. I was sleeping here with my new friend. Oh, yeah. Island days, clear blue waters, and mountain ranges and beautiful daughters. Yeah, I can't get enough of these island days.
Yes, sir. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Tavana. Thank you so much for that beautiful music. Really appreciate it. Tavana's performing Friday on Maui with our friends at that do comedy on Maui. Man, why am I drawing a blank? Is that Playground? They're going to be performing Playground. I think that's in Kihei. Chino LaForge, I believe, is working with him on that show. Chino, I think, is doing, if I saw right, Chino's going to be doing comedy before Tavana performs. So that's super cool. and that's something I wanted to do on this podcast going forward is trying to highlight the local comedians in our scene, as well as, see if I can get celebrity guests as well as our local comedians. Yeah, I would love to have Johnny Rocks Hollywood on as a guest. And the cool thing is, the way I got it set up is now we can stream it. We can do it live. We can do it recorded. We can do it online, and get it out to the people. So you guys, I can introduce you. I'm not saying I'm like the portal, but I'm hoping to be. I mean, if I can help get you guys seen by people up in the States, that's. Oh, is it? I didn't know that. So Sparkles is saying that's the place that we performed. Yes. Okay, so funny story when I performed at the playground, me and Johnny were booked by Chino to go and what was that? Power Up Comedy, I believe it was at the time. So we got booked. We went to perform, and just before it was my turn to go up, I was introduced, and then my pants, my jeans, got stuck to a nail in the chair, and as I stood up, part of my pants stayed on the chair, and it was like, I looked at Johnny like, I don't have another pair of pants. We were only here for one night. I went, pack this. He looked at me like, I don't know what you're gonna do, but I guess you just gotta go. And being comedians, that we can work on the fly. So I got up and talked about it, obviously. So you have to, as they say, address the elephant in the room. And here comes corny joke. That elephant was me. I gotta get some buttons with some laugh track on it. So Jessica, hello Jessica. Playground is technically in Wailuku at Ma'alaya. Really cool spot. So the playground, those of you on Maui, or those of you visiting, or know somebody that wants to do comedy on Maui, look up Chino LaForge on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and then hit those guys up. Really nice people. Yes, I was flying by the seat of my pants. Thanks, Johnny. Oh, Sparkles. We got two Johnnies. I got to say Sparkles. One is Hollywood. One is Sparkles. Yeah. But yeah, it was a funny story. The cool thing was, the crowd was, I guess, I'm not saying like I was good at, but the crowd got it and laughed along. And then Johnny Sparkles went up and destroyed it. It was because I went on last, right? No, I went on before you. Sparkles, you closed, right? Yeah. And Johnny Sparkles destroyed it. He likes to play with the words, just like they're flying by the seat of your pants. The comment he said, because I ripped my pants from the seat. Let me get into my notes so we can discuss certain things. Again, give the shout out to the guys with issues. The funny thing is we started out at doing the podcast at hawaiialohatravel.com with Travel Bruce Fisher, who mentored us in getting started. So my first experience with podcasting was with Bruce Fisher. Myself, Sparkles, Peter Austin, and Russell Kealoha. And it was weird because something with the theme of Guys with Issues was always we would have topics to talk about, but then there was some kind of running theme. So I remember like the early episodes where I think Peter Austin kept eating all the snacks that we had. I think it was it Sparkles? Was it popcorn and mochi crunch or something? And I don't think Peter Austin was familiar with it, and he just kept eating. We're like, okay, would have been nice if you saved some for the rest of us. He didn't eat it all, but he ate a lot of it. And then we ended up doing the podcast in Club 939, which is, yes, a strip club. We would do our podcasts. We would record them because we were audio back then. So we recorded our podcast upstairs in the office / VIP room, exclusive VIP room, right next to the dancer's locker room, with a door that always stayed open for some reason. Like, I would figure, hey, you know, should we close the door? But for some reason, it always stayed open. So we were there, and one of the draws was when they had what do you call that? Featured dancers, like porn stars. They would be guests on our show. So we would have a guest, London Keys, in fact. I think like episode 16, 17, or 18, one of those. And, you know, then we would get a lot of people to listen because, you know, she's a hardcore Asian porn star. I'm sure a lot of guys claim that they don't know who she is, but I'm pretty sure they've seen her. I don't know if she was hardcore like Asian or hardcore porn star. I think it's hardcore porn star because she does some really like raunchy stuff. Anyways, I'm going off topic. We also had comedians. So because we were at a strip club, we got comedians to come through, and part of the catch was, hey, you get to enjoy yourself downstairs in the strip club, the beautiful, classier strip club in Honolulu, where actual dancers and 20-foot poles. So we got the likes of Tommy Davidson, Joe Torre, and Kid from Kid and Play. So they were on the podcast. We actually have videos on YouTube of them. Let's see, Kid and Joe Torre were freestyling, and Tommy Davidson was actually doing his impersonation of Barack Obama, who's the president at the time. Yeah. So Johnny Sparkles is saying, forget, but I remember Peter Austin eating choke and acting like he wasn't offended when we called him out on it. Yeah, this is true. So we started doing a podcast there. We got a lot of people on. Tara Patrick. What is that? Charmaine Starr. Doug Stanhope. But Doug Stanhope didn't go for the strip club. He actually went for the podcast, and that's just where we recorded. He was super cool about it. Yeah, Sparkles should have done the freestyle, man. Just don't do the 5-word freestyle. That's taken already by somebody, by my other good friend. So yeah, it's we did the podcast there, and then kind of moved on when the pandemic hit, and started doing Zoom podcasts, which not necessarily the same, but technology has changed. I think before it was kind of like hard because someone would talk over, you wouldn't hear the other person, or maybe somebody else's internet wasn't as strong and they would cut out. You know, I don't even know if I'm cutting in and out. I should have plugged in, but I just wanted to see how the Wi-Fi thing works. And then, as far as my comedy career, I've been doing stand-up comedy for roughly 12 years. I started May 1st, I think 2009. So almost 13 years. Mainly here in Honolulu, Hawaii. And I've done some stand-up in the States. Not as much as I would like, but at the time, or the past 18 years, I've been raising my daughter, so it's difficult to travel because as close as we are, it's tough. Not just for her, but for me too. I didn't want to be away from her. I wanted to be part of her life, so I was always around. She's a jock. I'm a jock. She played sports. I wanted to be there. And then when she got to travel for sports, what do you call it? She performed I got to perform in places that she traveled to. She went to Vegas a couple of times. I got to do the Dirty at 12:30 a couple times. LA Comedy Club in Vegas, the Tickle Me Comedy Club in Vegas. I also performed at the Comedy Store when I was up there to shoot a set for the FNX Comedy Experience, which is put together by Graham Elwood, a good friend of mine that wanted to highlight mainly Native Americans, but started including indigenous people of their culture. And so they had me on there. I was announced as the first Samoan to do a featured stand-up comedy set on American television, which to me was pretty dope. I mean, I don't really walk around and say that. Like, some people don't even know, because I don't. It's weird for me to go. That's a weird flex. Just walk around like, hey man, I'm the Louis Armstrong. Not Louis Armstrong. I messed that up, Sparkles. I'm the what the dude went on the moon. Not Lance Armstrong. There's a lot of Armstrongs. Buzz Aldrin? No. Man, no, I look like an idiot. Yeah. What's that? Well, anyways, like, you know, I don't. That's a weird flex to go around and start bragging stuff like that. But you know, cool to have on my tombstone, I guess, when I pass. It won't even have my name. It would just have maybe the name of this podcast. Let's see. Hang on a second. Hey, it's Veronica. Yes, Neil Armstrong. All right, thank you so much. It's a very intelligent woman. That's what every man needs in his life. They're very intelligent woman that knows her stuff. Jackie Robinson. Yes, Jackie Robinson. But yeah, Neil Armstrong. Okay, thank you both, to intelligent people that's listening to me live. And hello, Veronica. I always like to call her Veronica. She usually goes by her nickname, which is not listed there, so I won't share it. But she's in the mainland listening or watching. I guess watching. Oh, on Facebook. Yeah, I'm trying to start this new podcast. Start to do it live. Trying to be like Andy Bumatai, kind of, who does his Daily Pigeon. Maybe one day I'll have tons of people watching and I can shaka everybody. Yeah, so let me take this time to mention our sponsors. I say our because I'm used to having a group. So my sponsor. I'm going to give a shout out to, let me put their thing here. There it is. Boom. Give a shout out to Oahu Golf Apparel. OahuGolfApparel.com. This shirt that I have on is from Oahu Golf Apparel. You see all the license plates. The Aloha State license plate with the different islands. And I guess it's bad when you got to look down and say, oh, I'm trying to describe something to you that I know off the top, from by heart. But then I look down like, oh, wait, what was that? Oh, Molokai. Yeah, that's not a state. That's an island. But yeah, so Oahu Golf Apparel has hats, T-shirts, golf accessories, and are locally produced in Honolulu, Hawaii. They offer fun, stylish, active wear on or off the course. So go ahead and check out their website, OahuGolfApparel.com, who now makes big and tall sizes. This shirt I have on is a 6X. It's comfortable. It's actually really light and thin. Flexible, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna rip. Although I'm strong enough, But anyways, it's very comfortable. I highly recommend it. And it's the official sponsor of this podcast, the Hawaii Comedy with James Money podcast. So OahuGolfApparel.com. Another shout out again to Tavana for that beautiful music that I played earlier. And before I continue, So I want to say, I always want to put this out when I do an episode, and I used to do this with guys with issues as well. I know it's a tough time right now for everybody, with the pandemic, with the way the country's divided, and a lot of violence happening out. Either it's happening more, or we just see it more because of social media. But, I'm starting to know people that are being affected by this. And I don't know what craziness is going on, but I wanted to share the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number for those of you that, whether it's being bullied or feeling the stress of the times that we're living in, and worried. There's somebody there that can help you. You can talk to somebody. Of course, you can always hit me up on social media, but I'm not an expert. So if you're looking for somebody that can talk to you or even point you in the right direction, please call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. And that's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Tough times like this, we all got to look out for each other and, be there for each other because, it's the pandemic alone is just crazy. So, let's see what we can get into here. I've been doing stand-up comedy. I've opened for a lot of performers. Recently, Ronnie Cheng, who was in Crazy Rich Asians, Shang-Chi, and he's also on The Daily Show. I don't want to get into too much of their personal lives that you shouldn't share, but I will say this about him. He's very... So on stage, he gets up and he's kind of very like Louis Black, where he's very angry. He speaks on some political issues, but backstage, man, the dude is like super nice, also classy. He calls me and myself and Lanai opened for him at the Hawaii Theater, and he calls us in and he offers us. He has sliced fruits and water and other drinks in his room, and he offers it to us, and we're like, oh no, we're okay, thank you. You don't want to be rude. He's like, yeah, give me that. But then he got up and went and started pouring water for us, and he started to offer him, and I'm like, man, this guy is like a big time comedian. He has a Netflix special. He just finished recording his second Netflix special, and we look up to this person, and he's over here like making food and drinks for us. It's like and he's always kind and so that's the thing. And I get to call him my friend. I do that with comedians whether they know or not. So I tell people, don't ask. Like Dave Chappelle is my friend, but don't ask him. He might not. He likes to play it off. But Ronnie Cheng is my friend. So I get to claim that. Also open for local superstar. I'm going to say superstar. He's pretty new, but he sold out three shows at the Blaisdell Concert Hall in hours. We can say a full day because he would add another show because this one sold out. But in hours, he sold out 3 Blaisdell Concert Hall, and it's like I think 2,400 seats or something like that. And I think he turns 26 soon, but he's only 25. It's like, holy cow. He's skyrocketing. There's Tumua Tuine, for those of you that don't know. He started doing comedy, and it's the funniest thing that I had him opening for me. It's almost like, I'm like, wait a minute. Some people take that as an insult. I look at it, I guess, maybe it's just how we are in Hawaii, comedians. Like, we want our own success, yes, but we love when we see one of it's a family. It's Ohana means family in Hawaii, where we see like, oh look, my brother is doing it, or my sister is making it. Maybe I shouldn't have said doing it, but they're getting successful. They're doing well, and so when he started, he opened up for Augie. He's opened up for other people, but I had him open for me when I started headlining a couple of years ago. And then it's like, obviously it wasn't at Blaisdell, but it was at Hawaiian Brian's. And then now he's like blowing up. I'm thankful that he's letting me ride his coattails. So he's taking his show on the road. He's going to go open, he's doing a show in Maui, February 26th. And he just announced 2 shows March 5th on Kauai. And the tickets went on sale today for the shows in Kauai, and 2 shows sold out already in hours. That's a lot. He attributes, is that correct? I think so. A lot of his success to his Instagram sketches, TikTok sketches, and yes, those blew up. But the thing that I notice from comics, like from himself, and I'm sure it's like that with National Touring Comics, but I don't know, I don't see them every day. But the one thing, and maybe some of the comics in our scene can take something from this, the major thing I see from Tumua, from Augie, is hard work. Like, they hustle. Like, Tumua will go and do as many podcasts as he can. I've heard him on podcasts where it's a small setup. It's not well planned, but he goes and he because he wants to, I guess, be wherever he can and also help those people by getting more views to their podcasts, as well as he goes out to open mics, local comedians. We know King's Pizza, where it's like, this room might be the size, my bedroom here is the size of King's Pizza. And, we're looking at it, it's like, whoa, what is Tumua doing here? He's selling out, I think he sold out 26 shows at the Blue Note. I'm still working on my first. Maybe I should have announced that. I have I'm headlining February 2nd, 2022, Wednesday night at the Blue Note. I still have tickets available, not at Tumua level where I can sell out in hours, but we're trying to sell it out. So that's a goal. On the show, I'm going to have Daryl Bonilla perform, Jose Dynamite is performing, and Simone Park is performing. So got a mixture of comedians in there. And I'm hoping that, this is kind of like a gauge or test to see if I can sell tickets. Because I would love to be able to sell tickets and bring, more comics like Johnny Sparkles, Johnny Rocks Hollywood, Nico Butler, Kenny Kusaka. There's a lot of comics here in Honolulu that people that live on Oahu have no clue about. So hopefully with this podcast, I can shed some light on to the 10 people that I know on this island. I'm laughing because if some people will tune in and then jump out. So they just tuned in and saw me drink water, made whatever assumption of this podcast and of their friend, James Money, and said, what is this? He's just drinking water? I'm out of here. This is bogus. Let's go. Let's see. So that's me in a nutshell. Personal life, what I've been up to after, during the pandemic, some people ask. I was actually coaching high school football. And it's 100% volunteer. We don't make any money from it. Some coaches do, but not all the coaches get paid. We do get free, I thought was free shirts, free Hawaii shirts. I'm sorry, I coached for Aya High School, so I got free Aya shirts, cap, shorts, which I thought was free. And I say that because we're given the shirts to wear at games to represent the school colors and the school name. And then, like maybe like a couple of weeks in practice, the coach, who I love very much, Coach Wendell Say, then he hands us fundraiser tickets. And I was thinking, oh, is this the kids? We're buying them from the kids, or we're giving this to the kids? Or they say, oh no, you guys got to sell them. And it's to help the program, because the programs don't make much money. So of course we're going to do it. But I mean, I always talk shit. So I was like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that the shirts that you give me, I got to pay for them by selling Zippy's chili tickets? How dare you? Sparkle says, this guy's drinking water. I bet he believes in a vaccine too. I do, which is why I am vaccinated and boosted. But I'm like, I don't know why, like, what happened? Like, we got too much into like my team is better than your team thing, and we just hating on people. If you don't want to get vaccinated, I'm not talking to you, Sparkles, I'm talking to people in general that don't want to get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. I wish you would, but you're not, and that's your right. That's your choice. As an American who has rights, I believe, you have that right, and fine. I wish you would be safe, though. I'm going to wear a mask, so I'm safe. Don't get mad at me because I'm wearing a mask. I'm not walking around and say, you asshole, put on a mask. All right, we're getting too much into this. But you get what I'm saying, though. It's like, do you, I'll do me, and cool, all right? Go over there. I'm going to go over here, and so you're telling me I have to buy my own Zippy's chili ticket to keep wearing this shirt? Pretty much. That's pretty much what Coach is saying. Because he kept asking for the money. It was kind of like he's a little more aggressive than a drug dealer with it. It was like, hey man, where's the money? No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't like that. Coach Say's super cool. Some people did buy their own tickets. I don't think all the coaches sold. I got lucky. I put it on social media. I had some friends that bought a lot. And then I had friends that bought and then donated. So I was able to give it back to, the program. Maybe some of the kids donated food to them that that would like to eat something. So I appreciate those guys. But yeah, let's see here. Coaching at Aya High School, and I gotta say the weirdest thing about coaching, and I have a new respect for coaches. Even my coaches, I didn't know how much I looked up to them. And then it's funny. So I got into coaching football at Aya High School, my alumni, because my daughter, who went there a few years ago, wanted to play for the football team, which I gave her my blessing, but I told her how I felt. Because she plays other sports, so I rather focus on those other sports, just soccer and volleyball. You don't need to play football, but you're gonna do what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna hold you back, and you shouldn't let anybody, especially me. I pushed her around. I mean, her little girl has her whole life. Not tell her what to or not to do. If you really want to do it, go for it. So I started coming around and to watch, practice pre-pandemic. Then the coach was like, hey, since you're here, you might as well. All right, fine, you're right. I'm always at every practice. I might as well help out. So I helped out the offensive line. So she became a kicker, and she could boot the ball. A video of her on YouTube where she's blasting the ball 50 yards, field goal. And she was hoping to go for this is her junior year, and she was hoping to go for the record, the female record in Hawaii. I believe it's 44. And it's held by Iolani Kicker. I forget her first name, but her last name is Makekau. Friend of mine's daughter. And like she had a really good boot. But my daughter, because her senior year, there was no football season because the pandemic shut that down. But anyways, I was planning on going to coached that year, and then she graduated her senior year, graduate, and then I'm done also. But it didn't work out that way. So what happens is, it was the point I was getting to, is as a coach, and the kids started to look up to you. Like, one kid was calling me, dad. Like seriously, like I was like, okay, I'm not your dad, but I get it. But because of getting to know him and how much, I guess he cared, like he looked up to me, it was like, all right, okay, I'll adopt you, for fun, but I would always tease him, say, oh, okay, you're my second daughter. I'm a girl dad, so I only have daughters, so you're my second daughter. He played along, but so I was thinking, okay, so his senior year was this past year. And I was like, all right, so when he's done, I'm done. But what happened was there's another kid who was a freshman this year and then a sophomore, and they both looked up to me, and one of them said stuff like, oh, I don't want to get to exactly what he said, but kind of like, I inspired him. And when you hear stuff like that, like, oh my God, I can't quit on this kid. This kid's gonna be like, oh, I guess, that's what coaches do. You believe in somebody and then they take off. So I was like, dang it. So it's funny because I told my daughter, who's now in college, I said, oh man, there's this one kid, and great kid. I started talking to him and scolding him, and we're connecting, and she was like, wow, that sounds to me like you just signed another 4-year contract. I was like, oh snap. I guess I'm going to be selling Zippy's chili tickets again and again and again. Or do like Sparkles and just buy the tickets myself. It's costly. Zippy's ain't cheap anymore. But yes, I'm coaching football. I'm hoping this podcast does well. I appreciate you guys listening in. I'm going to post this also on Spotify, as well as audio podcasts for those that can that would rather listen. So shout out to Pete, Germany Pete, the Tampa Bay Strudel. He's one of our biggest fans from Guys with Issues. He kept pushing me. He's like, hey, when you gonna, not pushing me in a bad way. I'm looking forward to the next podcast episode. Looking forward to another podcast, and also Missy Ketchum, who's a comedian here in Hawaii. I was like, hey, you should do Twitch. You should do this. I really think it would be great for you. And here I am, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Now see what happens. Maybe I'll get some of these weird coins that they talking about. Today's episode is brought to you by Fresh Hawaiian Water. When you are thirsty and you don't want gas in your water. That's messed up. Snoop. What's up, Snoop? Snoop, I think around the time I first started, was coming out to shows. And so the profile picture of my YouTube page is Snoop's picture. He took that picture, and I appreciate you, my man. It's a picture of me holding a microphone with a black cap on, pointing at the camera. I think we did at King's Pizza. Wait, some pizza place. But it was below. It's in the basement of Hawaiian Monarch Hotel in Waikiki. So we used to do comedy there. And the funny thing is, this is back in the with my friend Michael C. Hall, and we did comedy there. And the ceiling was like right here, so I had to tilt just slightly sometimes, so that my head wasn't touching. Like if I stood straight up, I'm touching. If I turned slightly, I'm not touching. So good pizza though. Yeah, thanks, Snoop. King's Pub, that's what it was. And then the owner of King's Pub. All right, so we're getting in a weird place. The owner of King's Pub also owned a bar in Waikiki at another location called Arnold's Bar. And that's a little hideaway that Doug Stanhope likes to go because they have a section that you can smoke. It's not like, there's not going to be a lot of people there that's going to be like, hey, you're Doug Stanhope. Who doesn't like to be bothered too much? But he's really cool with his fans, Doug Stanhope is. And then at this place is where I met Tim Heidecker and Greg Turkington, who filmed a show called Decker. They did Decker on YouTube, on the Adult Swim's YouTube channel. They needed a larger-than-life Polynesian, and they booked me. They saw me. I hosted their stand-up comedy show at Hawaiian Brian's, and then I became that character, Lanoy Arnold. Originally, it was just Lanoy. They added Arnold because the name of the bar was Arnold, and I was supposed to be the owner. So it's funny how I went from what was that called again? King's Pub to Arnold's, and it became Lanoy Arnold. And there's actually people who still tweet pictures of themselves. When they're visiting Waikiki, they go to Arnold's. They take a picture, and then they send me they tweet it and they tag me on it and say, oh look, I'm at Lanoy Arnold's bar. And it's like, oh, Lanoy, my oldest and closest friend, which is a line from the main character in the show. So it ended up on Adult Swim, the television show, which was a hit because it had like 1 million views or watches on the channel. But it's also on Amazon if you guys want to check it out. But if you guys want to watch the free version, go to YouTube and search up Decker, Port of Call, Hawaii. Right? Oh, thanks, Snoop. Really appreciate it, brother. So that's how I got onto TV as an actor. I don't consider myself an actor. And it's funny because my sister is an actor. And when I was given this role, I went up to her and I was like, hey, you know what? I don't know anything about acting, but these guys wanted me to play a role in their show. And then she watched it and she saw that the way the show is filmed, it's supposed to look like two guys recording with a hand, maybe a flip phone. It's supposed to look cheesy. It's supposed to look bad. They're supposed to be like bad actors. So my sister just told me, oh, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Just be yourself. Which was lucky for me because I didn't have to act. I pretty much was reading cue cards and was like a robot. And, it worked. That's what they were looking for. There was one scene where I won't give away the ending because there's a surprise ending. Maybe I just gave it away. But it's been out for like at least 5 years. So if you can go check it out. But there was a scene where they're supposed to do like a close-up of my face. Like they're coming up, boom, from far away, and it just comes zoom right into my face. And they're like, again, I've never acted before, but they say, okay, so what we need you to do is look menacing. So I was like, what the hell is that? You know what menacing kind of means? But I don't know what that look is. So they were setting up the shot. They're going to the place, and I was like, and I was in deep thought trying to figure it out. What menacing? And they go, perfect. I was like, what? I didn't know they were shooting it, but I guess the face I made was resting face. I was resting bitch face, and my normal face. And it was like, that's it. The cat's face. Oh, there she is, my sister, chiming in. I was perfect for that show. Yes, I was. Because I didn't have to act. I just had to be a large person. Wasn't that? That's kind of messed up, though. So, hey, you just be big and stand over there and let us do the real stuff. The gas face. Was that Everlast? Third base? Is that third base? That's the thing I love about Sparkles. Sparkles, I swear, you should start your podcast. You know so much about music. the little things that people don't even wouldn't catch. Like, I forgot about the gas face. So that's about me. Episode 1, Hawaii Comedy with James Mane. I will have guests on. I just want to do this first episode and see, because there's a lot of, I don't have a producer yet, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes where I'm supposed to act like I'm looking cool. I apologize, I'm looking down a lot. This is my notes and whatnot is down here. So eventually I'll get better at it. I'll be able to click without looking and just look at you in your eyes and talk to you and say, this is how it goes. I don't even know how it sounds. I'm not used to not hearing my voice. But this software that I'm using, you don't need to, it doesn't give you the audio back. But we'll see what happens. We'll learn. So let's see, I'm doing that. Things that we would talk about, or I keep saying we because I'm used to being in a group. Things that I will talk about, let's say sports. Let me just throw this on right quick for all you fans out there. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry about that, Cowboys. Which I have a lot of Cowboys friends and family. Oh, there's Cowboys everywhere. But we won. We dominated the first 3 quarters. I was comfortable. Fourth quarter came around. I was like, what the hell is happening? The Cowboys are coming back. They almost won, and they like to blame the ref. Like, the ref keeps saying, hey, they keep saying, oh, the ref did this, the ref did that. He should have, hurried up and marked the ball. Well, what about the penalties? What about the mistakes that they made throughout the game? Everybody always points it on the last play. Like the last thing. Just like, sorry, Sparkles, who's a Raider fan. Everybody point out the last interception by Carr. The game is not won by the last play. It's throughout. So even if you were to win the last play of the game, the whole game you brought yourself back to that position to have that opportunity to win. The Cowboys didn't. The opportunity happened. They didn't. Look at all the penalties they had. Look at all the mistakes they made during the game. That's where you lost the game. I got tons of family that's Raider fans, even a lot of close friends that are Raiders fans. But it was a good year. I mean, everything was against you guys. You guys weren't supposed to make it to the playoffs. You guys had problems with, I forget the player's name. Is it not Judy? You guys receiver who went speeding and he's an Alabama receiver and killed a guy. Killed a person? A woman. Ruggs. Thanks, Sparkles. Yeah, Ruggs. And then your coach gets fired because he has email racist and all kinds of craziness in his emails. But it's all right. It's a comedy podcast, so lighten up, people. All right. The funny part is, if you're expecting any coach in the NFL to say some racist shit, he was up there. I mean, he looked like he was about to blow up, and just all these, slurs just come flying out of his mouth, and like, whoa, I expected that from him. Yes, I expected that from John Gruden, who they also nickname, who's that, Murderers? I'm going to need somebody like Tony Rowley on the show that I can look at and what am I looking for? What is the answer? What is Chucky, the Chucky doll? So not a surprise to me that John Gruden said racist things in his lifetime. Just surprised it took this long to catch him. I mean, I wish he didn't feel that way or talk that way, because what we did see seemed pretty cool. But Yeah. As far as the Niners winning the next game, a lot of odds against them because 1, they're playing away. 2, it's going to be really cold. And 3, the Packers had the week break and they're on fire. So it doesn't look good for the Niners, but especially with Bosa having a concussion and is it Wagner that got injured? So we'll see. One of the things we got going for us is we can run the ball, right? We just be dominating on the ground game, right? So sorry for all you teams that got eliminated. I don't know if you guys can hear it. My dogs are going crazy in the back. Somebody's coming to attack. They're not. Okay. Another thing happened in sports. The Washington football team. The Washington football team. All the fuck ups that they do. They're holding a special. Yes, I hear the dogs. Thank you. Hey, Mel. All right. Yes, go Packers. Go away. Go away, Packers. You guys don't deserve it. Aaron is weirdo. But what is that? Washington football team. We're gonna try to do like a big reveal for their football team name, and then messed up when they accidentally. So one thing they messed up on. Let's say I'm holding this, but you can't see the logo, right? Like, oh, you can't see it, but it's here. And then if there was a mirror behind me, and it's like, you can't see it, it's just going to be a surprise. And you look in the mirror and you see the team name. You see the logo. That's what happened. And then there's a website that if you type that team name that went to the Washington football team website. So you typed in that URL, the link, or whatever's, and it directed you to Washington football team. And that name is the Admirals, the Washington Admirals. You heard it here first. It's not me that put it out there. They put it out there. They could change it. I think Red Wolves was another one that people were liking. I think that's cool. What would you guys name the Washington football team? I was thinking, like, since it's been a racist name for so long, against Native Americans. And, I apologize if even saying Native Americans is wrong. I don't mean to be offensive. But what other name? Maybe we should do it because I thought, like a cool name would be like the Washington Senators. I used to watch hockey and the Ottawa Senators. I thought that was a cool name. It's just different. It's like Senators. But the Senators in D.C. aren't even doing any work, really. So maybe Senators might be a bad name. But maybe that reflects this team, the program. D.C. Dark Knights, Johnny Sparkles, I think that's a cool one. The D.C. Dark Knights. Actually, see, that would be too cool for them. That wouldn't be good enough. They wouldn't be good enough to have such a cool name. I think maybe they should do like maybe white people names. Maybe like I guess the obvious or on the nose would be like Washington Crackers. Was that too offensive that I just said that? Or is that okay? Because that's such a weird thing to me also, is that we can say that about white people. Like, I can say that at work. Can I? I don't know. I haven't worked in years. But I can say that on stage, performing. Oh, it's crackers and these crackers. But as soon as I say like, N-word or something against Latinos or Asians, then it's like, oh, what did he say? So I perform once, and I have a joke where I talk about Samoans a lot. I'm Samoan. I got the pass. So talking about Samoans, everybody's laughing. I can write jokes, all right? It's funny. And then I said one thing, and it wasn't even offensive at Japanese. And one woman got offended by it. And I was like, wait a minute. So, fuck Samoans and they're bouncers and drunks and moving company people. But once I say that Japanese people, this, and it wasn't even that offensive. I just won't say it because, And then she just got mad, and I was like, wow, all right. Let's go back to talking about me then and my people and how you feel about us. Let's not talk about you. This is so weird doing a podcast by myself and being the only one talking, and my voice is straining. But we're trucking through it. We're almost at the finish line. So, yeah, the Washington insurrections. The Washington insurrections. Can you imagine the cheerleaders cheering for the Washington insurrections? Give me an I. Give me an N. Give me an S. Give me an A. Oh, what? It's halftime now? Oh, ran out of time. Oh, man. Shucks. Oh, see, this is things that happen in Hawaii comedy scene. Nico had people walk out angry for just saying the word Jew. He didn't even say anything bad about them. That's because unless you're Jewish, I don't think you can say the word Jew. I think that's offensive. I mean, I went to school in New York and I had friends who were Jewish, and yeah, so they told me that I'm not allowed to say that, say Jew, especially if I'm referring to somebody who is. So that's one of those words you got to be careful for. Let's see. So the Washington, and then another thing happened was Antonio Brown, Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver, storms off the field. Actually, didn't storm. He kind of danced off the field. He quit during the game. Literally. He took off his shoulder pads, his jersey, shirt, and just started throwing it into the stands. I thought he was going to do Dennis Rodman and take off all his clothes and walk off. And he just waved and walked off the field. He didn't even walk around the field. He walked through the field and to the locker room and left. He was seen after, in regular street clothes, and with his luggage, I think waiting for Uber or something after the. So a lot of people were jumping on, commenting, saying like, oh, it could be CTE, which is, a lot of football players suffer from the brain damage that they get from playing that sport. Another reason I didn't want my daughter to play that sport. When I was in college, I did a report on CTE. I can't say it's central encephalopathy, something like that. But, which is why a lot of NFL players end up committing suicide because of this thing. And then for some reason they shoot themselves in the chest and not the head so that they preserve the brain so that people can study. I was like, man, that's pretty, thoughtful. It's like, hey, I'm going to kill myself, but, let me preserve the brain so that you can study it. No, see, this is where I'm having a group where they would let me know, oh, that's you've gone too far, James. That's the line right there. But other people were blaming drugs, saying, he needs help. It's probably drugs. To me, I'm like, how about he's just an asshole. I mean, if you look at his track record, he's been an asshole in a lot of places. Some people were saying that the hit that he suffered from a game against Perfect, who played for the, no, it's not me. He's trying to say Perfect in the Samoan accent, but Perfect, who played for the Cincinnati Bengals. They say after that hit, he hasn't been the same. I don't know, man. I think whether it's drugs or a CTE, it probably just magnifies your personality. And if you're an asshole, you're a bigger asshole now. It just, unfortunately, it comes with that sport, which is, I think if I had a son, I wouldn't push him to football. That sounded weird. You push me to football? I wouldn't push him to play football, But if he really wanted to, I wouldn't stop him. So it is what it is. Let's see. Let's go into Hawaii stuff before we sign off. Jason Momoa is separating from Lisa Bonet. They're going to have a divorce. All these women in Hawaii are just going crazy right now. I can just imagine they're all trying to get in shape. They're all trying to look good, trying to get them some Momoa, some Aquaman, trying to sample his ahi. These are terrible punchlines. I know. I'm sorry. But that seems to be where things are going. I'm starting to see on social media, which I'm on a lot, and women are just posting pictures of themselves with him. I believe 808 Viral is doing this kind of challenge where, and I love people at 808 Viral. Don't get me wrong, and they're posting pictures of themselves on another woman's face. I think it's probably a picture with Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa as if they're getting together. Yeah. Yes, Benny Momona's trying to get that Momoa. Johnny Sparkles with the punch. Sister Dorothy Samoa Momoa. Yeah. I make it a point never to laugh at my sister's jokes. So she's succeeded again in not making me laugh. I'm laughing now, but it's laughing because of what I said. But no, I'm just kidding, Dorothy. Samoa Momoa, that's so hilarious. Man, I'm going to see if I can use it on stage. But I don't know. I would love to see him. Stop being jealous. All right, Other Money. Thank you. I would say something bad, but you're like 1/4 of the people are listening live. So, I would love to see Jason Momoa end up. Hold on to your horses, not white ladies. Hold on to your horses, Polynesian women, with a white woman. Like Amber Heard, is that the woman that's on Aquaman? Like a white woman. And just, I cannot wait. I hope he does. Just to see the look on, and the posts that are going to come out, all these Polynesian women who act like they have a chance. Amber Heard is crazy. Hey, Polynesian guys like crazy. You must be crazy. Shout out to Kapina there. That would be, as a comedian, like, wow, let's write these jokes. Because we just been handed an amazing premise. Let's put some taglines on this. I would love to see it. Or even, who would be, the one that played his mom, Nicole Kidman. Can't get whiter than that. I'm pretty sure you can, she's like Larry Bird, you can see through them. Wow, Nicole Kidman and Jason Momoa. It'd be like the Rock poster in the end of the movie. Was that not Get Shorty, but Be Cool. Oh, that'd be funny. I would love it. And then just see all these Polynesian women just like, oh, he's going against our people. Like, take it easy. As if you ever had a chance. I'm sorry. Maybe that's rude of me, but he probably, all right, so this part might not be for the kids. So there's a lot of women out there, a lot of men too, okay? So don't get me wrong. I'm not picking on one side. That try to trap people. So here's a story about Drake. A rumor that's going around where he hooked up with a, I believe it was like an Instagram model or something. So Drake hooked up with an Instagram model, went back to the hotel, had sex, used a condom. Good. Good on you. However, it's not 100%. I mean, it could leak. She could still get pregnant. But maybe she didn't. And she wasn't trying to take that chance. Drake, after finishing, goes to the bathroom, throws the condom away, cleans himself up. She goes into the bathroom after him to try and get his semen into her, obviously to impregnate her, but not knowing that Drake didn't come empty-handed. Whoa, that wasn't intended. That pun wasn't intended. Drake didn't come empty-handed, okay? He brought into the bathroom. Oh, Drake is, if you're being serious, Mel, Drake is a superstar rapper, musician. He's always at the NBA basketball games on the sideline. Huge star, good-looking guy, from Canada. So he, after he took the condom off, poured hot sauce inside the condom, maybe on the condom, but to kill the sperm cells. So when she went in to try to inseminate herself with his semen, she burned the shit out of herself. I don't know if shit came out. It could have been literally, but she said it felt like lava was inside her. Is it? I mean, how do you feel about that? Is that good? I mean, shoot. Good for her. I mean, well, not good to her, but that's what you get. I mean, there's a lot of celebrities who get trapped like that, where a lot of NBA players, they travel town to town, they hook up. When I used to work tour bus, the Lakers would come in and they wouldn't go to clubs to hook up. They always went with hookers. And then when I asked why hookers, and they say, oh, because they don't try to trap them, or they don't try to get pregnant. It's pretty much paying them to shut up and leave. So I was like, wow, man, I wish I had the shut up and leave money. That's the level of success I want to be. I was asked yesterday, what do you want to be, or where do you want to be as far as comedy goes? Like, what is your path to success? And I think that's it right there. I want to have enough money to tell somebody to shut the fuck up. Like, I would think more famous person, you have to pay more. Like, let's say, or even somebody, like, to go up to like a pastor who's just, this sermon is just going way too long. It's like 3 hours now. How much do I have to give this church to get you to shut the fuck up? I mean, it could be maybe even your coach or something, or your teacher, or everybody has a price. Like, what is your price? Shoot, I'd do it for like a Big Mac. You tell me, give me a Big Mac. I say, okay, I'll be quiet. Bye-bye. Yeah. Man. Sparkle said, I bet Diddy has a guy that takes care of the used condoms for him. Well, I hope he doesn't take care of them as in like, because how else, like, how do you destroy it? Like, pour Clorox? Maybe he's like, nobody's getting this, and just swallows it. Okay, now we've gone too far. I see the line, and now it's behind me. I've crossed the line. I appreciate you guys listening in. The podcast will get tighter the more I learn how to use these the softwares that I'm using, as well as the audio and the video streaming. I appreciate you guys tuning in. COVID numbers are going up, man. It's getting crazy. I don't know. There's flight attendants calling in sick. People that work in a lot of these industries calling in sick because they're catching it. Be safe, man. I mean, because if you get sick, or whatever sickness, you go to the doctor. I mean, even people who don't believe in the vaccine, they get COVID, they go to the hospital. Yeah. Go and listen to the doctor that you trust. And, let them explain to you, because you trust them. Maybe you'll listen to them. And if that doctor says, you can just wear a mask and, whatever it is, and then don't be like, hey, you're an idiot. I got the answer. I know what to do. You're an idiot. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just respect everybody's choices. That's the beauty of living in America. You have choices. If we could just respect each other's choices, that'd be awesome. I appreciate you guys listening to the episode. I got food waiting for me downstairs. I got to get going. Maybe that should be my catchphrase. I was trying to come up with a catchphrase. I hear a lot of podcaster guys have cool catchphrases. My catchphrase is, all right, guys, I got food waiting for me downstairs, so I got to bounce. Again, I would like to give out the number, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. Appreciate it. Love for Tavana, the guys with issues. Appreciate it. OahuGolfApparel.com. Go check them out. Get these shirts, these beautiful shirts I got on. I love these shirts. Thank you for listening to. Wait a minute. I got to post that. Love you too, Sparkles. Can't wait to have you on as a guest, brother. Because I can when I talk to Sparkles, it's a really good conversation, but I'm always learning too. I'm also learning too. So I love talking to Sparkles. So I will have him on the podcast when everybody's schedule is cool. Thank you so much, Mel. Mel is someone that I've worked with for years that I call mom at work. She's my work mom. Because, I'm 6'7", 400 pounds. I won't say her dimensions, but she's not as tall as me. She's actually really a lot shorter than me. But working in customer service, when I would have problems with somebody, I would do what I was taught, which is, alleviate the issue and try to chill out and don't get crazy. And which I would. Marilyn, would hear this and come out and chew out that person. It's like the person is snapping at a pit bull and the pit bull is just chilling, and then the chihuahua comes and kills that person. And that's why I love you so much. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We're going to do this twice a week. If you guys tune in, you tune in. If not, you can listen to it recorded. See the replay on YouTube. Comedian James Money YouTube page. Comedian James Money on Facebook. Comedian James Money or Hawaii Comedy Podcast on Twitch, on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, it's there. Appreciate you guys for listening. I got food waiting for me downstairs. I'm out. Peace.